His voice echoed in the dining room like a gavel. Final, smug cutting. You came from nothing. Don't forget who gave you everything. The wine glass in my hand didn't shake. My fingers didn't twitch. I just smiled and let him finish his performance. He had no idea the curtain was already closing. Outside, the hum of twin engines began to settle. The sound reached us just as the last drop of arrogance slipped off his tongue. He turned his head toward the window, then back to me. His laugh faltered. I stood. You should answer the door. It's for you. 15 minutes later, his face was drained of blood. 35 minutes later, hers was too. The woman who once called herself my friend, now clutching a purse full of panic and smeared lipstick lies. He didn't start like this. He started with charm, the kind of charm that feels like silk. Smooth, rich, expensive, and deceptively thin. I met him at a fundraiser. He worked the room like he'd rehearsed the lines in a mirror. But I watched the pauses, the moments between smiles, and I saw something more dangerous. Hunger. Not for money, for power. The kind that feeds off other people's light. I was drawn to him anyway. Maybe I thought I could tame it. Maybe I wanted to believe I could be loved for who I really was, not the last name I carried, not the empire behind it. So I let him believe the story I wrote for myself, the version without yachts or private jets. Just a scholarship girl with ambition and a good heart. I thought if he loved me then, it would be real. But men like him don't love. They leverage. The mask didn't slip all at once. It cracked subtly over time. A condescending laugh here, a joke about my family being so quaint there. He never asked about my past because he assumed it was beneath him. Then came the real betrayal. He moved my sister's college fund, said it was for liquidity. I found the wire, two $10,000 into a holding company he created 6 weeks before our wedding. The name of the company? Eden Rose Holdings. Eden, my sister's middle name. That was the moment I stopped being in love. That was the moment I started planning. I didn't scream. I didn't accuse. I played my part, wore the dresses he bought, sat beside him at galas, let him believe he held the leash. But behind closed doors, I was reclaiming the empire he never knew existed. First, I had the prenup quietly invalidated, on grounds of undisclosed assets and fraud. The lawyers my father kept on retainer moved faster than his ego could react. Next, I froze his accounts. Not all, just enough to leave him twitching, confused. I wanted him to feel the leak before the flood. Then, I moved the chess pieces. The business he thought he owned, my family's investment firm, held 51% through a silent partner. The car he bragged about? Leased under a shell company tied to my uncle's private equity group. And the penthouse bought in my name, paid in full. I handed him the keys once. I took them back just as easily. The final blow, a subpoena, delivered with chilled champagne by my father's legal team as they stepped off the jet, he said we could never afford. He opened the door expecting guests. He got consequences. He stood there barefoot, still holding his half-eaten breakfast when they handed him the papers. His lips moved, but no sound came out. Sign at the bottom, I said gently. Unless you'd like this to go to trial. I have screenshots, bank records, even voice memos. He looked at me like he didn't recognize who I was. Good. The woman who loved him was buried under months of lies and stolen futures. The one standing in front of him was forged in the fire he lit. She showed up 15 minutes later. Hair perfect, heart racing. She tried to play innocent until she saw the second envelope with her name on it. Civil suit. Accessory to fraud. Asset seizure, she stammered. I said nothing. Some truths don't need repeating. He tried to apologize. He even tried to say I misunderstood, that he was trying to build something for us. I tilted my head. By stealing from my sister? His eyes flicked away. I told you I came from nothing, I whispered. That wasn't a confession. It was a test, and he failed. I didn't stay to watch them unravel. I left as they were still blinking, still processing how fast it all fell apart. I walked out of the building I once called home and stepped into a car that waited on my signal. I didn't cry. I didn't smile. I just breathed, free, clean, whole. He thought I was nothing. But now he knows exactly who I am, the woman who gave him everything he wanted and took it all back without raising her voice. The woman who didn't just walk away, she walked over him,